Hello there, and welcome to the show. And today I'm going to be talking about Captain America Brave New World. So, Captain America Brave New World is the fourth Captain America film, the first Captain America film with Sam Wilson as Captain America. I had zero interest in this film. With all the reports about reshoots and rewrites, it sounded like this film was gonna be a Frankenstein's monster of a movie, just bits and pieces of different scripts and ideas pieced together. I had no interest in watching this film, but I went ahead and watched it earlier today, and let's talk about it. The plot of this film actually resolves a plot hole that the MCU has had for about 3.5 years now. The Celestial that's been hanging out in the Indian Ocean for the last 3.5 years. This film addresses that, and it revolves around that primarily, how there's a race to control that Celestial because it's made out of adamantium, the material that Wolverine is made out of, which was kind of interesting because I thought that adamantium was going to be introduced whenever Marvel does the X-Men movie, but they decided to introduce it in this timeline, but there are no X-Men in this timeline, so I just thought that was kind of weird that this is how they decided to introduce adamantium. There's an assassination attempt on the President of the United States portrayed in this film by Harrison Ford, and it is in fact Thunderbolt Ross from The Incredible Hulk and Captain America Civil War and Black Widow. And the premise of this film is Sam Wilson, his friend Isaiah Bradley, was one of the assassins, and now he's basically trying to prove his innocence. And then you've got the race to control the Celestial, and this movie does in fact feel like a Frankenstein's monster, different bits and pieces that don't really connect well together. This film does have a couple of pacing issues. There is a lot going on, and not a lot of it really makes sense. I did like a few things about this film. Anthony Mackie, Carl Lumbly, and Harrison Ford all delivered very good performances in my opinion. Harrison Ford to me was the best actor in the film with the most well-written character. You really get the sense of how he's this morally gray antagonist who's trying to do better. Carl Lumbly had some great moments, definitely had some funny lines and some emotionally compelling moments in my opinion. Anthony Mackie, I felt, did a great job with the material he was given. It is hard for me not to call him Falcon, or at the least Captain Falcon, and I like that this film shows how Sam Wilson has doubts about being Captain America, how he's wondering if he should have taken the super soldier serum like Steve did. So I like that. Also, I like the new suit that he has. The Red Hulk fight scene was the best action sequence of the film in my opinion. I really enjoyed that fight scene. It was a really good climax to the film, so I enjoyed that fight scene between Captain America and Red Hulk. That's about it for the positive. Now let's move on to the stuff I did not like about this film. First off, this film did not need to be a movie released in theaters. With the plot of this film and the way it played out, I thought to myself, this probably would have made for a decent second season of Captain America and the Winter Soldier. This didn't really feel like it should have been a feature-length movie released in cinemas. Also, the script of this film and the villains, Red Hulk, Leader, a lot of the storylines, this feels like it should have been a script for The Incredible Hulk 2, because some of the conflict that goes on in this film with Ross and Sam and Leader, I thought to myself, this would probably make a lot more sense if it was Bruce Banner instead of Sam Wilson. Bruce Banner has a connection with Ross and Leader. Also, Liv Tyler reprises her role as Betty from Incredible Hulk. That's another scene where I was like, this probably would have been great if Bruce Banner was here. This movie does feel like a jumbled mess. You can definitely tell that there were some reshoots and this film was butchered in the editing room. I mentioned the Red Hulk fight scene was the best action sequence of this film. It is also the only good action sequence in this film. A lot of the combat scenes are very clunky and not filmed very well. There's this air battle in the Indian Ocean and it is so boring. I could not bring myself to care, and I wasn't invested in a lot of the action sequences until the finale. This film has too many villains, in my opinion. You've got Ross / Red Hulk, you've got Leader, you've got Giancarlo Esposito as the leader of the Serpent Society who were cut from this film. Giancarlo Esposito is only in this film for 3 scenes, so if you were excited to see him in the MCU, he's only in 3 scenes and doesn't have a real impact on the story. Red Hulk only appears in the finale. He's only on screen for maybe 6 or 7 minutes. A lot of the CGI, visual effects, and green screen were not good. There's this scene in the White House where people are jumping and fighting, and you can clearly tell that it's very bad green screen. The hand-to-hand fight scenes weren't filmed very well. I hated Leader's design in this film. Just not a fan of the design, and what he ends up doing in this film, how he's basically the puppet master, the master manipulator, didn't really buy it. It felt like he was just inserted into this film to try and tie everything together. Also, Sebastian Stan makes a cameo in this film as Bucky Barnes. He makes a cameo and delivers this speech, and I was thinking to myself, you're not gonna offer to help? Also, they introduce a sidekick because Sam Wilson is now Captain America, so they introduce a new Falcon, and new Falcon was so annoying. In the end, Captain America, Brave New World. I had zero interest in this film, and I was expecting it to be a disaster. However, this movie is not bad. It is not an abomination on the level of She-Hulk. It is also not a good movie. It is not something that I'm ever going to rewatch. Captain America Brave New World has some cool moments, has a few laughs, some emotionally compelling moments, but as an overall film, it lacks substance. There is nothing of substance to this movie. It is not something I'm ever going to rewatch. This is not a good film. This is not a bad film. It's just mid. It's just a middle-of-the-road movie. Just average. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. You can follow me on Instagram at Sayed_2000, and I will see you on the next video. Till then, take care.